Hi BTS fans! If you are an ARMY, the questions of how BTS members were discovered and how BTS was formed likely cross your mind. Well, like the great bands before them, their story is a mix of the conventional and unconventional. BTS debuted in 2013 with their first ever single, No More Dream, as you can listen from the beginning of this video. Since then, BTS members RM, Jungkook, Jimin, V, Suga, Jin, and J-Hope have become household names among K-pop fans everywhere. But BTS wasn't always BTS. About a decade ago, BTS members were just 7 normal South Korean guys with dreams of pop stardom. Then came Big Hit Entertainment and their lives changed forever. So how was BTS formed into the band we know today? It's going to be a long story, but let me tell you about how one of the members of BTS was recruited, RM. RM, whose full name is Kim Namjoon, was the first member of BTS and is the band's leader. RM, whose previous stage name was Rap Monster, is one of the band's rappers. He started rapping in the 6th grade after he listened to Epix High's Fly for the first time. In 2007, when he was in middle school, RM started rapping under the name of Ranch Randa, which led him to the rap crew Dynam Hub. After that, RM started releasing more songs as a solo rapper until he was invited to audition for a hip-hop agency where he met Untouchable's Sleepy, who was a judge at the audition. Impressed by RM's rapping, Sleepy connected RM to producer Bang Si-hyuk, who invited him to audition for Big Hit Entertainment. Then in 2010, RM became one of BTS band members and the rest is history. Wait, what are you doing in my English lesson? Oh, isn't this the Korean culture lesson? Of course not, this is my English lesson. Oh my goodness, it seems that I get into the wrong class. I'm sorry, Mr. Fandi. Okay everyone, we're going to talk about BTS again later. Bye-bye. Bye. Hi everyone, we get back to English lesson with me, Mr. Fandi. But first, let's change the background. Nice. Today, I'm going to teach you about past simple. Before I explain more about it to you, let's take a look on this timeline for a while. In this timeline, there are past, now or present, and the future. And all the X symbols indicate the action, event, or situation. As you can see in the timeline, in past simple, we will specifically talk about something that happened before now. Bear in mind that the actions, situations, or events which are symbolized with this axis are finished or over. We can use some time expression in our sentences such as yesterday, last week, last month, last year, 2 weeks ago, 3 years ago, and so on to tell about the time. Therefore, we can say that the past simple is used to tell finished action in the past. In our daily conversation with people, we will see or we will use this tense a lot. So let's go further with it so that you can use past simple correctly in a conversation. Now let's take a look on how to form a sentence in past simple. If you listen to my story about BTS previously, I use past simple tense a lot to describe or tell you about the past actions, situations, or events that one of BTS members did. When forming a positive sentence in past simple, we will follow a pattern which is subject, followed by the past form of the verb, or some people call it verb to, and followed by the object. For example, Bang Si-hyuk invited RM to audition last year. RM started rapping in the 6th grade. BTS debuted in 2013. Take a look at the verbs. All the verbs in these sentences are regular verbs because we only need to add D or ED at the end of the word. However, there are many words that cannot be added with D or ED in English. In this case, the verb can change a little, or sometimes it's completely different from the base verb. Here are the examples of the words in sentences. RM became BTS member. Jimin sang a song. Jungkook met the judge in the audition. The base form of became is become. Sang is sing, while met is meet. We cannot just add D or ED to these words. So, we call these words as irregular verbs. Now let's talk about the negative sentence. In negative sentence, we will need a helping verb did in the sentence. Therefore, let's follow this pattern. Subject followed by did not, followed by the base form of the verb or the verb 1, and then followed by the object. Note that we can contract did not into didn't while you use it in a conversation. Let's see the examples. RM started rapping in the 6th grade. That's the positive sentence, and it will become RM didn't start rapping in the 6th grade. And then the second example, Jimin sang a song. And in negative sentence, it will become Jimin didn't sing a song. Don't forget to change the verb back to its base form in negative sentence. Then, we come to making the interrogative sentence or question. In interrogative sentence, we put the helping verb did in the beginning of the sentence, especially if you want to make a yes or no question. So the sentence will be like the pattern below. Did followed by subject, followed by the base form of the verb or the verb 1, and then followed by the object. Don't forget to write the question mark at the end of the sentence. Here are the examples. Did RM become BTS member? Did Suga write the lyrics? Bear in mind that just like in negative sentence, we also need to bring the verb back to its base form in interrogative sentence. We can also make it into WH question. For example, what did RM do before joining BTS? And why did Jungkook join BTS? Now let's move to another part of learning past simple. We are going to learn on how to make the passive voice of past simple. Just a reminder for you, passive voice is used when we want to focus to the person or the object that experiences an action, rather than the person or object that performs the action. In passive voice, we need to be. Note that the to be is according to the tense that we use. In this case, in past simple, the to be's are was and were. Was is for singular subjects and were is for plural. After to be, it will be followed by a past participle verb, or we call it also the third form of a verb. Don't forget to change the position of the subject in active sentence into object in the passive sentence. Now take a look at these examples. The active sentences are BTS released a new single. And then, Suga sang the songs. The passive sentence of the first is a new single was released by BTS. And the passive sentence for the second is the songs were sung by Suga. You can see more on how I use passive sentence in my story about BTS in the beginning of the video. I hope you also realize that I use past simple in both active and passive sentence in the very beginning of the story. That's all my explanation for past simple tense. I hope to see you in the next videos. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
내 꿈에 머리